Biotechnology of the Future 2050 AI Technology. What happens when human beings combine biology and technology? That's the power to recode life itself. We are organ farms, and governments have used artificial wombs to rebuild robot populations with biological parts. There will be genetically engineered humans who can heal people through touch and more. We are in the world of biotechnology, but what will happen to our environment when humans start creating life and become an invasive species? What's going on underground? In the laboratories of biohackers, safe from regulations, if the human body is altered by bioengineering, we will be able to evolve towards a new species of life that becomes less numerous. More human and stranger or not, humanity will no longer be the observer of nature but its master. This is the next stage in human evolution, and it begins with bioprinting. Bioprinting is 3D or even 4D printing, but instead of plastic or metal, it uses living cells called bioinks. These cells are printed layer by layer and can grow and connect with each other. By creating biological structures using bioprinting technology, we not only create objects but also breathe life into them. Bioprinting is an alchemist's dream come true. Some basic level uses include bioprinted eyeballs, corneas, bioprinted hair follicles. Before we continue, smash that like button, share and comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel and put the notification bell on so you don't miss our next video. Coral reefs provide habitats for marine life, helping restore damaged ecosystems, or small-scale robotic space stations are bioprinting factories because printing with liquids is most effective when performed in a microgravity environment. The sudden deterioration of the bioluminescent creatures caused the darkness to collapse. Botanists and engineers must discover what is killing the neon bloom and bring to light the city's conspiracies, spreading that the lights have been biohacked and reprogrammed to release harmful pollutants elsewhere. A robotics company has built a robot with glowing bioluminescent skin. The company is testing the use of robots in museums to guide people through exhibits. People are wondering, if the next human skin is underground, biohackers have gone one step ahead and experimented on their own bodies. Cyberpunk and biohackers operate underground, protected from government regulations. They experimented by implanting microchips in their arms and tattooing themselves with digital ink to display and highlight their clothes online. Together, they hack and build biocomputers made from biological materials and living neutral tissue. Cyber attackers hack and modify brain chips, disabling security features for left neurological experiments allowed, harsher and using their own DNA. While storage devices that mimic nature's ability to store huge amounts of data are on the streets, there's a black market in new age substances biohackers are creating up their sleeves. Ferments into wine in minutes and creates unfermented foods that are resistant to pets and parasites. Disease-free and hypoallergenic, the biggest buzz is about self-replenishing food containers. These containers are made from living organisms that continually regenerate their contents, providing an endless supply of micronutrients. These biological hackers also try to freeze each other in hopes of bringing the bodies back to life. People call them cold punks, and they keep pets genetically engineered to produce bioluminescence, making them glow in the dark, and there are rumors of chimpanzees. Sperm are created using genes of several species. The name chimera comes from Greek mythology, a fire-breathing creature with the body of a lion and the head of a goat, growing from the back and tail of a snake. In the real world, companies are making older models of bionic limbs obsolete. Force users to upgrade by asking who owns the members, the people, or the company. Bioprinted prosthetic limbs fully integrate with the body's nervous system, providing a more natural sense of touch and control. Soldiers voluntarily amputated their limbs. Governments use bionic limbs to create super soldiers. A boy paralyzed after an accident learns to walk again thanks to a bionic skeleton. Each bionic skeleton, prosthesis, and bionic exoskeleton has a tracking number registered in government-controlled laboratories. Scientists are testing advanced artificial womb technology. This includes pod devices designed for more reliable external pregnancy and gestation. A process known as ectogenesis in a world plagued by infertility, artificial wombs, have become humanity's hope. Wealthy individuals outsource childbirth to large womb farms. Governments facing population collapse have their own farms too, and conspiracies circulate of a dictator obsessed with his legacy, using artificial wombs to create numerous offspring, aiming to rule eternally and become an immortal dictator. Other fields that use artificial womb technology include space colonization, military use, and endangered species revival, and there are experiments being carried out in the field of extended gestation, where a body is left in the artificial womb for a longer period of time to enhance natural cognitive and physical capabilities. The next multi-trillion-dollar industry is in biohybrid robots. These are robots that are made with biological tissue, providing more flexibility and energy efficiency. One corporation is developing biomimic robots that can blend in with nature, disguise themselves, and even interact with animals. The company says these biorobots are intended for environmental monitoring or biological research, but there are concerns that they could accidentally become invasive species, disrupting ecosystems and leading to their extinction. Native animals. While others are concerned that biorobots could be used for espionage and espionage purposes, such as drones or robots that imitate a bird so well that another bird cannot tell it is the action of a machine, these types of robots could be used to violate sovereignty in places where governments deploy invasive biohybrid animals to infiltrate and undermine the autonomy of other countries. While advanced biohybrid robots are capable of rapidly producing harmful bacteria and viruses, after a nuclear-scale nuclear disaster, biological robots immune to radiation are humanity's best chance of survival. They scavenge for resources, rescue survivors, and clean up biohazardous waste. The first biological robot became a restorer of extinct animals, carrying DNA and giving birth to lost species. These are the true Neo-X-Men, essentially biological hackers who are no longer considered human. They represent a whole new species after winning the organic lottery. He was the first person to become an insect repellent. He inhaled an artificial virus that delivered CRISPR components and targeted gene sequences in his cells and sweat glands, where pheromones are now produced to ward off local disease-carrying insects. A singer with bioengineered vocal cords and resonance chambers to create inhuman range. Of sound, it turns into a living instrument, a biohacker into a living canvas using biological skin pigments that change with light temperature and mood, displaying images of works of art, motion art. Humans can grow their own food on their own bodies, and marine biohackers hack their own bodies with marine animal genes to create bioluminescence and gill-like enhancements, to breathe underwater. There is a new age werewolf who is resistant to bone fractures thanks to biotech collagen enhancements, and he can quickly regenerate with reptilian-made human tissue and heal at a fast pace. People are using biotechnology to fight reverse aging by manipulating telomeres and cell regeneration. A person who claims to have the ability to split their consciousness using organic brain augmentation methods to multitask to an unprecedented degree, and the first person to be able to heal others through touch by transferring regenerative cells. Biotechnology is the drawing board where nature's plans meet human design. It is a record of life itself. It is the next stage in human evolution. What happens when humans begin to combine biology and technology? That's the power to recode life himself. We already have organ farms and governments using artificial wombs to rebuild robot populations with biological parts. There will be genetically altered humans who are able to heal people through touch and so much more. This is the world of biotechnology, but what happens to our environment when humans begin to engineer life and become an invasive species, and what is going on underground in the labs of biohackers hidden from regulations? And if human bodies are bioengineered, would we evolve into a new species of life altogether, becoming less human and more alien? Humanity will no longer be observers of nature, but masters of it. This is the next phase in humanity's evolution, and it begins with bioprinting. Bioprinting is 3D or even 4D printing, but instead of plastic or metal, it uses living cells called bioinks. These cells are printed layer by layer and can grow and connect with each other. Creating biological structures with bioprinting, we're not just creating objects, we're breathing life into them. Bioprinting is the alchemist's dream to come to life. Some basic level uses include bioprinted eyeballs, corneas, bioprinted, and hair follicles. For hair loss, personal cosmetic testing, combat wounds, healing, and traveling further into the future. More advanced bioprinting will achieve 3D printing. Coral reefs provide habitats for marine life, helping to restore damaged ecosystems or small-scale. Robotic space stations are bioprinting factories, since printing with liquids is more effective when done in a microgravity environment. Regarding the human body, bioprinted organs are manufactured in organ farms to overcome the challenges of donation shortages or a patient. Its own cells are used to create miniature organs or organs to test medical responses before actual use, and bioprinted prosthetic limbs are designed to fit the individual perfectly. Uses living tissue to enhance integration. Along with the host body, experiments are carried out in the field of cybernetics, in which electronics are implanted into bioprinted organs, creating cybernetic organs more advanced than other natural organs, such as bioprinted lungs are implanted with sensors and nanofilters that help remove toxins from the body, air, before it enters the bloodstream, or replace the bionic eyeball with built-in zoom or infrared vision. Patients in these experimental bionic eyeballs begin claiming they had paranormal visions. After losing his sight in an accident, a former archaeologist receives a bionic device, received a corneal transplant, and his vision was restored. He begins having hallucinations, claiming to see the past, and believes he has discovered hidden secrets that could rewrite history. On the other side of the world, an unknown flesh-eating disease is ravaging parts of a country. A team of scientists is using bioprinting technology to create a new type of skin that can withstand disease. Some praised the scientists' efforts, while others wondered whether people with different skin types were still part of the human race. Going back to more basic biotechnology, there is the living world of architecture, where buildings built with biotech materials can repair themselves, clean the air, absorb pollutants, infection, and even self-regeneration. These buildings are also built with adhesives inspired by geckos and coral reefs. Inspired by ecological concrete, some of these New Age buildings are even powered by biobatteries that use components such as bacteria to store and generate energy. But there are complaints about forced obsolescence, where companies manipulate their biomaterials to cause their biomaterials to degrade after a certain period of time, forcing customers to continually buy the product. Replace. At the top of these bio buildings, the walls of luxury apartments are decorated with organic art, artists, functional works, living fabrics, and bioprinters to create living and evolving works of art. These cities' organic flats located near the ocean are protected from rising sea levels and storm surges by living seawalls. Genetically modified corals and mussels are used to create living seawalls that are capable of growing and repairing themselves. Protect these coastal towns, and then the bioluminescent plants, bacteria and algae designed to glow in the dark, like deep-sea creatures, replace electric streetlights, but in a small town where bioluminescent lights discreetly glow and purify the air. The sudden decay of bioluminescent organisms brings darkness. The mission of the botanists and engineers is to find out what is killing the neon bloom and restore light to the city. Conspiracies are spreading that the lights have been biohacked and reprogrammed to release harmful pollutants. Elsewhere, a robotics company has built a robot with glowing bioluminescent skin. The company is testing the use of robots in museums to guide people through exhibits. Everyone is wondering, if human skin goes underground, biohackers are already one step ahead and experimenting on their own bodies. Cyberpunks and biohackers operate underground, protected from government regulations.